Durden, a U.S. Army veteran and also the co-founder of Humble Warrior Wellness and Yoga. Today I'm going to take you through a grounding yoga practice. So we're not even going to stand up. Sometimes we just need to feel grounded, centered, and present. I recently was able to do this practice for a group of people who had been traveling a lot from different time zones, and it just felt really settling in the body. So find a comfortable seated position. I'm sitting on a blanket. Lengthen the spine, roll the shoulders back, and either close the eyes or lower the gaze below the horizon. I invite you to close your left hand and just gently bring your attention to the whole right side of your body, the right side of your face, right ear, right side of the neck, shoulder, right arm, wrist, hand, the right side of the torso, the right thigh, knee, lower leg, and right foot. Take a deep breath in, drawing the breath into the whole right side. Exhale, releasing. Inhale, allow the belly to expand. Just draw it in, nourish that whole side. And then exhale, cleanse that side. Then release the left hand and close the right. And this time bringing your attention to the left side of your body. Left side of your face, left ear, neck, left shoulder, left arm, elbow, wrist, hand, left torso, left hip, left upper leg, knee, lower leg, left foot. On the inhale, allow the belly to expand, the side belly, and just nourish the whole left side of your body. Exhale, release. Then inhale, draw a deep breath in, a little more on the left side. Exhale, release, cleansing the left side of your body. Soften your hands. Let's inhale our hands, bring them all the way up, up, up. Bring our palms together, uniting the left and right side of our brain. Lift our gaze. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. And release. Just a little breathing exercise to return to the body, to turn inward. All right. We'll start out and just stretch the body long, making maximum contact. Stretch the arms overhead, the legs long, and then come into a little X. We can stretch our right foot and left hand in opposite direction, feeling a stretch even in the low belly. And then our left foot, right arm, stretch, 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 and then just alternate. Just stretching the body out and release. Draw the knees up to the chest, give yourself a hug, squeeze, maybe rock on the low back. Tuck your fingertips under the knee pit and just rock yourself up. And then we're going to come all the way over to tabletop. So our wrists are below our shoulders, knees below our hips. Press the floor away. Scrub the heel of the hand toward the knee. And just be a nice firm tabletop. Maybe you draw the belly toward the spine slightly. And then we'll inhale, lift our head, lift our tailbone, spiral the arms to the front. Exhale, lower the head, lower the tailbone, round that back, push into the upper back. And then just alternate. This is flexion and extension of the spine. And linger where it feels good today in your body. For me right now, it feels really nice in cat. Maybe I just stay a little extra time there. And then just alternate. And pause. Then we'll extend the right leg back, left arm forward for bird dog. But this time I'm trying to invite some space into my right hip and left shoulder. I'm reaching in opposite directions. And then release. Left leg back, right arm forward, creating some space in the right shoulder, left hip, like I'm touching something with my fingertip and toe tip. Remember to push the floor away with your left hand. And release. Nice. We'll move into thread the needle. So placing all of my weight into my right arm, I'm going to float my left hand up and then exhale, reach through. Inhale up, exhale through, inhale up, and this time on the exhale I'm going to reach through and down. Rest my head and my shoulder on my mat. My left palm faces the ceiling. I can stay right here or walk my right arm forward. On an exhale, I can lower my right armpit toward the mat, closing the gap. And just stay here in this nice shoulder stretch. You can stay here in this nice alignment or inhale your right arm up to the ceiling, creating space, bringing it to your tailbone, left hip, or tuck it in for a bind between your rib cage and your thigh. Now I'm opening my right shoulder up a little more. Take some nice deep belly breaths, full exhales. Sinking a little more into your mat. Then if you're in the bind, release it. Bring the right hand to the mat, press the body up, and on an inhale, float the arm up, maybe give it a little wrist twirl, one direction, then the other, and come back to your nice tabletop. I'll turn around so we can do it on the other side. This time we'll exhale into the left hand and I'll float my right arm up, reaching up, and let's move dynamically. Reach under and through, inhale up, under and through, inhale up, and this time exhale, reach under, through, come down, rest the shoulder, rest the head, get comfortable. And then maybe that left arm reaches forward, exhale, lowers down, creating some alignment. You can play around and come on tented fingers and exhale down. Do what feels good in your body. Stay here or make your decision. If you want to inhale, reach up, create a little space in the left shoulder, bring it to your tailbone, right hip, or tuck it in for that bind. Few breaths here. Try and let your exhale be a little deeper than your inhale. Exhaling fully. If you're in the bind, release the bind, bring your hand to the mat, press yourself up, and on an inhale, reach all the way up, do a little wrist twirl, one direction, and then the other. And release and come down. So that was a little yoga for the shoulders. Next, we want to move into what's called supported fish. We want to feel supported when we're doing a grounding and centering. So I have these blocks. You can use yoga blocks or books. This one is on the highest level. I use a handprint. And this one is on the medium level. I'm going to turn around and sit tall, nice capital letter L. Invite my toes to my nose, bring my hands down, and just sit nice and tall for a moment. And then exhale, contract the abs to the spine, and I'm going to slowly roll back. I grasp the bottom block, kind of hits me right at the bottom of my bra strap. And then that top block is on the back of the head, not the neck. You might have to release a ponytail. Bring the elbows down to that bottom block, palms to the ceiling. This is an open heart. This is a little back bend here. Check in with the low back. If this doesn't feel good, perhaps you bend your knees. Otherwise, you bring them close together for a fishtail or mermaid. This is a corrective posture for a lot of shoulder rounding, perhaps being on your phone or working at a computer desk or even a long commute. The shoulders are relaxed. I can move them. So on an exhale, let them dip down toward the earth. And now bring your attention to your breath. On the inhale, let the belly rise up. Draw that breath up into the chest. You feel lighter on the bottom block. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale. And perhaps you do a few of those dynamic belly breaths. And then we'll bring our attention to the exhale. Take a normal breath in, and on the exhale, contract the abs slightly like you're trying to make a little six-pack, or imprint the low back into the bottom block. So we inhale. Exhale, slight contraction, press into the low back. And a few more breaths. And then just return to your normal breath. This open heart supported position allows you to invite all the good emotions in. Peace, love, joy, as my friend Teresa says. And think about it when you're waiting at the airport for someone important you love to arrive. First thing you do is kind of smile, open your arms, open your heart, show a little vulnerability in preparation for hugging them. Maybe just rest in that feeling. We want to turn inward, stay in the body, but sometimes it's nice to give a little mental image of what that might cultivate. We'll come out of this carefully. We tuck the elbows to the block, tuck my fingers under my glutes, that's my butt. Press in, contract my abs, press up, reach back, grab the block, and then press up. Since that was a long held pause, we want to do a little rebound. So we're going to just hug it out, little hug therapy here, and release. Then I'll clear the mat. And we'll move into a reverse tabletop. So your legs can be like railroad tracks. Bring our arms behind us, hinging at the hip. You're going to lift your glutes up a little or a lot. Perhaps you lift them up. This requires a little bit of strength. I'm supporting my neck. It's as if I have a ball or a grapefruit under my chin. And then I'm going to release down. Maybe I'll repeat that. Pressing, inhaling up, holding. So we can hold the posture and not hold our breath. And come down. And then I always like to do a few little toe taps. And then perhaps a low boat. Release the feet. Let's do that little hug therapy one more time. Squeezing and release. And then we'll move into waterfall. So if we sit a lot, like on an airplane or something, lymph isn't moving around, things like that. So we can come into a waterfall position, lifting our legs up, tucking the shoulders under, or maybe even a supported waterfall. So I'm going to elevate my hips just slightly, placing it down on the flat bone, just above my tailbone. Lift one leg, making sure it feels okay, then two. So this is allowing like blood to come back into the pelvis area and nourish. Some of us get constipated when we travel or just feel a little icky. Also, it's an inversion, so again, we're activating lymph. So while we're lying here, we can also point and flex our feet, make some ankle circles. You might hear a little crack-a-lackin', that's okay. Change direction. You can also come into a nice V, push through the heel, invite the toes to your nose. If you want to go deeper, just rest your own hands on your inner thigh. That's a little extra weight. Pressing through the heels, inviting the toes back. Then slide the hands to the outer thighs, close the legs up, and maybe you take some bicycle pedals, pushing through the heel, really big pedals. Just range of motion here. And then change direction. And then back up, lower one leg, then the other. We'll press up into bridge, lifting the hips just to release the block. And then set the low back down. We can bring the legs up, soften the knees, let the toes float up, and just lie with them kind of suspended, soft and straight. If we want to stay a little longer, lower one leg, then the other. I like to find the edge of my mat, windshield wipe side to side, release any tension or tightness in the hips and low back. And then we'll press up into a bridge, pressing down, lifting our hips up, but continue to press down in the hands and arms and shoulders. Maybe you cross your left leg high at the thigh, like you're sitting on a chair. Shift your hips left and exhale, let your knees fall to the side. Arms can come out like a T or goalpost. And maybe you turn your head to the left any amount. You can stay here for a few breaths, or on an inhale, untwist, come back to a neutral spine. Press up into that bridge, continue to press into the hands, arms, shoulders, lift the hips high. And this time we'll cross the right leg over the left, like you're sitting on a chair. Shift your hips to the right, set them down, and let the knee stack fall to the left. Arms can come out like a T or goalpost. Or maybe you rest the hand on the belly just to ensure on the inhale the belly's still rising. Exhale, softening. Feel free to stay here for a few breaths. On the inhale, untwist, uncross, find that neutral spine. And let's just hug the knees to the chest. Here I like to draw the shoulders down, draw the tailbone down, draw the chin down just to lengthen the neck. Big exhale, feeling the spine on my mat. If it feels all right, rock side to side. And then we can do a short little Shavasana, just the final posture, so important. Tucking the shoulders, relaxing the arms and hands. Finding a comfortable lying position. Check in with the low back. If you need to put a blanket underneath your knees, you can, or perhaps blocks. And even if you don't have an achy low back, it just feels kind of nice. I like the palms to the ceiling just to kind of draw some energy into the body. And use this time to rest and reset. Stay in the lying position. I will come up to seated. In the comfortable lying position, scan your body head to toe, toe to head, releasing any tightness, tension, stickiness that might remain. And do what you can to soften, release. Wherever you feel any tightness, send your exhale there with a little message of soften, release, let go, relax, whatever your self-talk is, as long as it's kind and gentle. I invite you to rock your head side to side and then exhale, release, and let your head rest exactly where it wants. Let your shoulders soften into the mat, your arms long and still, your hands are soft, no fists. Exhale, relax the whole torso, the hips, the legs. Let the feet turn out. Let the body be supported and relaxed. I invite you to stay here for as long as you need to feel grounded, centered, refreshed, and reset. When you're complete, stretch the body long, arms overhead, legs long like you're waking up the first time today, but it feels great. Roll onto the side, the fetal position, and when you're ready, come up to seated. Big inhale in. Lift your gaze, exhale, hands to heart center. Thanks for practicing with me this grounding and centering practice.